Hey, everybody. Today, I want to give you a resource, and this comes from the organization Braver Angels, which you've heard me talk about a lot of times. The actual mission of Braver Angels is bringing Americans together to bridge the partisan divide and strengthen our democratic republic. And that is a lot more than election violence prevention. In fact, it's sort of a higher target than what we're looking at when we're doing EVP. They're talking about trying to strengthen the state of political conversation in the country. One of their concepts that I really love is something called accurate disagreement. And accurate disagreement is about making sure that I actually understand what the person I'm talking to is believing about the issue we're discussing, rather than making assumptions about them. Those kinds of dialogue skills are incredibly important, and they do feed into election violence prevention work. But the difference that's important to remember is that when we're doing EVP, it is just about making sure that we are not committing violence against one another. It's a very low threshold compared to what Braver Angels is trying to do, which is a step beyond in building dialogue and conversation and strengthening the democracy that we have in our country. That said, even though their mission is a little bit more than EVP, there are some skills that they teach that are just phenomenally important to preventing election violence. And one of the ways that they do this is through a workshop called Depolarizing Within, which helps us to understand the ways of thinking that tend to polarize us. And polarization all by itself is not bad, but polarization that leads to dehumanization is bad, because in that case, we have a situation where we are making one another less than human, and that is making it more possible to commit violence. So Depolarizing Within, this online workshop that Braver Angels offers, takes you and explains some of the concepts of how to be critical about somebody else's position. So it's not about compromising, it's about continuing to disagree and continuing to be critical of the ideas that you believe are genuinely wrong, but doing this without what they call the four horsemen of polarization, without stereotyping, without dismissing, without ridiculing, and without showing contempt. It also gives some really concrete tools for learning how to intervene in a social conversation when there is a damaging pattern unfolding. Things that you can say or do that interrupt this without your friends coming back and thinking, well, la-di-da, what's wrong with you? You can do this course online anytime you want to and in less than an hour. Again, you're looking for Braver Angels Depolarizing Within. Braver Angels Depolarizing Within, and they're teaching these skills about how to notice when there are destructive patterns happening either in you or in the conversation around you, and then how to interrupt those patterns. And this is preventing the kind of otherizing and dehumanizing that can sometimes lead to election violence. Next time we talk, we'll talk about some of the different types of conversations that we might have in an effort to do EVP.